Patrick says, "Hi, Zach. During the offseason, you see mock drafts everywhere in the media. Do you think that they are just filler content, or do you see value in them? And could you imagine doing a mock draft yourself on SOS? Let me know. Greetings, Patrick." Oh man, I could see myself doing a mock draft. I struggle with the integrity of mock drafts. There are two big reasons that I think are very, very problematic with mock drafts. There's two things. There's two big factors with them. Number one, there's what would I do? What would I, Zach Schaumler? If me, Zach Schaumler, was drafting, players in the NFL draft, what would I do? And then there's the other aspect of a mock draft, which is, what do I think other NFL teams will do? There's a human element. Humans are very silly creatures. They don't always make great decisions. A human, again, makes silly decisions that aren't predictable. I can analyze all I want. I can say, this guy's number one, this guy's number two, this is the best, here's what I think, here's what my opinion is, here's what I see on film. But the question is, do the Cincinnati Bengals agree with me? Do the Dolphins? Do the Redskins? Plus, how can I predict what trades are going to take place? I could do my own modified version of a mock draft. But you can't predict. The Dolphins have 3 first-round draft picks. Are they going to move up in the draft? Are they going to make a trade? Is anybody going to make a trade? You can't predict that. So there's that weird point where, predicting what is going to happen is kind of a guessing game. And I might do maybe a mock draft where I go, here's what I think should happen if everything is great. I could share my opinion on the mock. If I do a mock draft, here's what I'll do. I'll say, here's what I think should happen. And then we can compare what I believe should happen versus what NFL teams end up doing. Do I think the NFL teams are doing the right thing? We'll do that. That's what we'll do. But at some point I'll do a mock draft. I just struggle with mock drafts. I think a lot of them they are filler content. They're very silly. And, the rest of this month will be basically entirely dedicated to the NFL draft. At some point I'll do a mock draft. But I'll do it my way, a little bit unique, probably talk mostly about quarterbacks. But I got a lot of time. I'm going to dive into what every team needs at some point. I want to do a topic for all 32 NFL teams about what they need in the NFL draft, and that'll be really informative and help me kind of do more of mock draft stuff. Who's going to draft who and when and why. But again, it's really weird because I can share, if I can think that Jordan Love is a top 10 pick and Jacob Eason, the quarterback at the University of Washington, should be a second-round quarterback. But then some NFL team's going to draft him in the top 10, Jacob Eason, and we'll go like, what? But they're the crazy human beings that think that he's better than I do or whatever. You can't predict what other human beings are going to do. All you can do is share what you would do. And so I remove the prediction part and just share what I think is right and my analysis for the NFL draft. And that makes more sense to me. In case you don't know, Strong Opinion Sports is not just a YouTube channel. It is also a full audio podcast. You can find it on Spotify, on iTunes, on Google Play, pretty much everywhere you find podcasts. And if you like podcasts, please do me a huge favor and give it a listen.